Smart Chiropractor Show. It is time for strategic marketing. Let's get that up on the screen. There we go. This is where we take the lessons we've learned within the Smart Chiropractor and beyond and put it into practical application for you and your practice. We'd love to see you see more of your ideal patients. We'd love to see you improve your retention and ultimately have a great cycle of reactivations on the back end. That's what we power with the Smart Chiropractor. Part of strategic marketing is identifying what are those big levers, what are those ROI tools that you can and should lean into to better connect with people in your community. And one of them is generating reactivations with weekly email newsletters. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I like to say your email list is probably the most valuable asset you have in your practice. You might think it's your building, but I'm going to say you buy your building, you pay a certain amount, you sell it eventually one time, you make the margin and the difference, and hopefully it's more than you bought it for. That's a good return on investment, I hope. However, your email list is something you can tap into each and every week, each and every day if you so choose. It constantly grows, it constantly regenerates, and it gives you the opportunity to reach out to those people who are the hottest on your service. And who are those individuals? People who already had fantastic results in your practice. And so many docs out there, as we like to say, have big holes in their bucket. They're pouring new patients into the top of their practice bucket, and those patients are falling out all over the place. The result or the symptom of that, you might have increased stress, roller coaster scheduling, all of those things that none of us have whatsoever. Ha ha ha. Everybody deals with that as they build and grow a practice. But using a weekly email, an email newsletter, so to speak, to consistently teach and invite all of those individuals who have previously been into your practice, all of those individuals on your email list. Some of them might not have ever come into your practice if you're doing some active lead generation on your website, for instance. Reaching out to those individuals consistently, week after week, teaching them something educational, engaging, entertaining, inviting them to take the next step, schedule with your practice, and then doing that consistently is something that we have seen for many practices, even with small email lists, can generate 3, 4, 5 activations or reactivations each and every week off of their email list. Yet, this is something that so many chiropractors are sleeping on, and they just aren't. It goes to the bottom of their priority list instead of flip-flopping it, where something like this needs to be on the top of your priority list. And before I kick it over to you, Jason, docs out there, if you're listening and saying, I get it, but technology, it's hard. Writing emails is hard. Visit us at the Smart Chiropractor. We take care of it for hundreds of docs, send millions of emails each month, so you don't need to worry about subject line, body copy, call to action. We got all that taken care of for you. But Jason, weekly email newsletters in today's strategic marketing segment. What are your thoughts, and how should docs be thinking about this in their practice?
Jeff, this is such an important topic. You said it. Most chiropractors, when they think of marketing, do not think email, and that's not good. There's a couple things I want to highlight about this that I think are essential. And like most of the time, we think different. And there's a good, Apple commercial in there somewhere. But we do. We think about everything differently, and therefore what we do is different because of the way we think about it differently. And so what I mean to say very specifically is there's a couple things here. One, Jeff just said it. It is not easy to know what to do, what to say, and how often to say it to your email list. And just about every chiropractor I've spoken to, usually after they hear us talk about the power of email, typically comes to the conclusion that says, yes, I see how powerful this is. There's no question about it. We're all checking our email each and every day. And, there's a way in which to opt out of those things you don't want to receive. It's normal. It's the way most of us live, at least here in America. So the issue becomes chiropractors not knowing who should I be sending my message to? Should it be everybody on my list, or should I be segmenting my list? If you don't know what segmenting my list means, then keep learning with us, because these are important issues to be aware of. It doesn't mean you have to become an engineer or programmer. It just means you've got to understand what you're delegating, whether it's to us or to other people. So understanding, who am I sending messages to? What should I be saying? Many docs either kind of screw up on one side or the other. It's too quick, and it's just about making an offer because you don't think they're going to read the whole thing, or it's too long. thinking that people actually are going to read the whole thing. And, you're talking more about what you want to talk about versus what they want to hear and read or learn about. So there's a lot of confusion there. And probably the most difficult one that most chiropractors struggle with is, I don't want to bother people or piss people off on my email list. So we always tend to be more conservative because it just doesn't feel good when somebody goes, stop emailing me your emails, and we think that means it's everybody, when it's really just, a handful of people that just for whatever reason don't want to receive them. And that's okay. In fact, I'm going to actually reframe it. This is all about adjusting our thinking. It's a good thing. You see, when people actually opt out, that means click the button at the bottom of an email that says, I don't want to receive your emails anymore. That's great, because those that don't click that button, guess what? Are willing to get your emails. And that's a great thing for you. Now, the premise to how to be successful with just about every relationship is to have expectations that are in agreements, right? Expectations and agreements. So, there's very few people, for example, that would subscribe to whatever the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Fox News, whatever it is. There's very few people that would subscribe to that or start receiving it and going, stop emailing me all this stuff. Why? Well, because it's a newspaper, and the expectation is a newspaper is going to send you the news as often as it happens. That's the expectation. So when you have a weekly email newsletter that goes out to all of the people who are still on your list that haven't opted out, that cadence creates an expectation. And that's a good thing, because they can either opt out and go, I don't want it, or they can go, well, this is cool. It looks good. It reads right. It's not too much. It's not too little. And it is consistent week after week after week that we get feedback from many of the new clients that come on board, who just all of a sudden discover how powerful our specific strategies are, that they constantly are telling us, I can't believe it. You sent out the emails and I get the people coming in. This is the best deal there is. And why is that? It's because it works. You've got to keep your name in front of people, but you've got to do it in a appropriate professional way. Sending ads all the time, being overly loud, or trying to guess, is today a good day? I sent one yesterday. Should I do it today? That might be too much. And going through just the whole paralysis by analysis, overthinking, without having a time-tested, proven strategies that experts that will help guide you to come to those conclusions. Trying to navigate this on your own is pretty much next to nuts. This is stuff Jeff, myself, our team, we work with consultants, we study the marketplace. This is what we do. So if you want to get help, if you want to sort of have the chiropractor's chiropractor, those of us that are going to help adjust your thinking to get you optimal results and to be able to help you really optimize your practice, work with us, let us help you, let us put our expertise to work for you and your team. And you'll probably get back to us in the near future going, I can't believe it. All I did was set it up. It took me about 5 minutes. I put my automatic link to my automatic scheduler in there. And people I haven't seen in months and years are seeing it and going, thank you for sending that to me. I've been thinking about you. I've been meaning to call you. I've been meaning to come in. Your message was the perfect thing at the perfect time. Thank you. But when you do that consistently over and over and over again, that is exactly how you reverse engineer your success. That's how you reactivate people that should be there. That's how you increase your retention so they don't drop out altogether and they follow your care plans. And ultimately, that is how you receive referrals from other people, because there's plenty of people that go, I know who needs to read this article on the cervical spine, that being this month. I should forward this to my husband, my wife, my neighbor, my parents, whatever it may be. The system just works beautifully, but you've got to adjust your thinking to know, how do you use the right technology? This is not just about sending an email on your Gmail system or your Outlook, or this is not one at a time. You've got to know what to say, how often to say it, who to say it to, and we help make it that easy for you. So, Jeff, what did I miss on that whole thing?
I don't think you missed a thing. The equation's pretty simple. If you'd like to generate more consistent reactivations, you need to be sending weekly emails. That is the action steps. That's the take-home message. If you want to do it at the easiest and highest level possible, head over to the Smart Chiropractor. We will help you get there. If you want to give it a go on your own, please keep in mind that consistency wins the day. You have to be able to get in there each and every week. That is how you are going to achieve the best results, and ultimately how you're going to serve your patients at the highest level. Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to the Smart Chiropractor. We are posting videos on how you can market your chiropractic practice in a way that teach and invites consistently. We have found that is the magic formula to big time growth. So if you like this video, be sure to comment down below, smash that subscribe button, or visit us at thesmartchiropractor.com.